dizziness and balance problems no longer have to control your day. At OSF's Healthcare's Belvidere Clinic, physical therapists help patients conquer vertigo, a condition that affects up to 40% of people. Most cases come from BPPV, where tiny crystals in the inner ear shift out of place and trigger brief spinning sensations. Therapists guide patients through head and eye movements while using infrared goggles to track motion and pinpoint the problem.
What we see is when people are dizziness, a lot of times they're given medication to decrease their dizziness, but that is actually a vestibular suppressant and can make them more likely to fall because their balance systems don't function as well on that medication. But with 1 or 2 corrections in therapy, they're usually back to their baseline.